I thought that the first half defensively, we didn't defend nearly as well in the first half as I thought we did the second half. We're a little shorthanded. Naheem broke his finger, so he's probably out for 6 to 8 weeks, I'm sure. So that kind of hurt our rotation a little bit. I thought that we played fairly even there the first half to the last 2 minutes of the first half, and they went on an 8 or 9-point run. The second half, I thought our defense stepped up a little bit, and we were able to do a much better job. But I thought that today that Clemson, I thought, got the stops they needed, and it seemed although they got big baskets and got to the free throw line a little more consistent than we did, and there lies a 5-point loss.
Questions for Coach?
Leonard, you guys have struggled to close out halves here recently, both first and second halves. Is there anything you can put your finger on why that keeps happening?
Well, in the first place, I still think we're learning and growing. It was a 2-point game. I think in the last half, I don't know exactly whether or not there's something consistent about the halves. I thought it did hurt a little bit losing Naheem in the first 3 or 4 minutes. Tanoy had never had an opportunity to get back in what we call game shape because he had the kind of injury that didn't allow him to exercise. So he really just rehabbed and came back when he healed up. So he's only going in like a couple minute spurts. I thought Caleb and Ray showed some signs of fatigue early in the game. We had to get them a little more of a rotation than what we had in the past. This is one of those games where I thought we were not totally as sharp as what we have been in some situations earlier. We normally have been a team that closes out strong because the quality of our depth has allowed us to play with an extreme amount of energy. That's not kind of who we are right now.
Leonard, they had a couple of their starters go out with foul trouble in the first half, and then their bench guys come in and hit a bunch of threes and kind of carried them. Their bench carried them. Have you seen that from them? Oh yeah, in their previous games.
One of their better shooters comes off the bench. One of their better drivers comes off the bench. This is an older, more mature team than some of the teams he's had in the past. It's transfers and graduate students, and I thought they played with a lot of maturity. They're a lot more mature and experienced than we are, and I thought that made a big difference. But I thought our young kids, the second half, turned it up a notch and put ourselves in a position where if we'd had a few plays here and there, we probably could have overcame the deficit that we dug for ourselves in the first half.
More questions for Coach?
You go ahead, Bob. Okay, thanks. So Leonard, in that second half, after kind of struggling defensively early on, you guys kind of held them scoreless for a few minutes before they ended up going on that run with a couple minutes left. What kind of changed for you guys defensively? Did you guys do anything different that kind of put them in that dry spell?
Well, I don't think that over the years we've always been one of the better defensive teams in the country. That's really been what our staple has always been. This year, we're not. I think our inexperience shows an awful lot in how we're defended, and that's part of who we are. That's the challenge that we have to overcome. We're not nearly as far along defensively as we had hoped. That's why they shot such a high percentage in the first half, and we just got to get better at it. It's not any excuses we can make. Is that we haven't forgot to teach defense. In a few months, I just think that's who we are. We are not the same matured team that we've been in the past. Obviously, it's not making any excuses, but Malik has been one of our better defenders. Gives us an opportunity to switch 1 through 5, and we don't quite have the ability to do that now with the team that we have. But we just got to figure out how a way, you know. That's why we play a little zone defense the second half. I'm not real sure how effective it was. I thought it did change their rhythm a little bit, which gave us a chance, and gave us a chance to kind of create some indecision on their part. It didn't stop them, but I thought that it gave us an opportunity. It got them out of rhythm enough and gave us a chance to close the gap. Then we went back by man-to-man, and I thought we were a lot better, with the exception there toward the end when we put them on the foul line. And they closed out with about 6 free throws, I think, at the end of the half. I mean, end of the game, I'm sorry.
The rebounding options are obviously very difficult with the injuries that you have, but were guys fighting for boards tonight, and it was just maybe, you know, taller Clemson guys out there fighting better for it, or what did you kind of see?
No, I just think that a lot has to do with you lose your 2 big guys, but we got to find a way. You know, we were a little short-handed, and that means that someone has to step up and rebound better. You know, those guys are not coming back this year. You know, so you lose a 7'4" guy and a 6'9" guy who's been, you know, a 5th-year senior. It's a little more challenging. And we have to get better at rebound. I mean, that's part of the game. And, you know, you guys have been around a while. We know been one of the better rebounding teams around. But right now, that was the problem I thought in the first half. I think we only got 2 offensive rebounds in the first half. And that was a little challenging for me because I didn't think that we did a very good job of going to the offensive boards, and we didn't shoot that high percentage. That's part of growing up and learning, and we need guys to be a little more conscious and focused in those areas.
Any more questions for Coach? Guys all set?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.